everyone. I am delighted to open the doors to our first art exhibition, Voyages Immobiles, Le Grand Tour, an important occasion for Diptyque as we celebrate our 60th birthday. Diptyque was created in 1961 by three artists, three aesthetes who drew inspiration from travel, from journeys, real and imagined, to create candles, perfumes, drawings, and objects. To celebrate this taste for art and travel, we called upon 9 great contemporary artists from different countries and disciplines to present their vision and interpretation of Diptyque's iconic destinations.
So we're going to take you to France, of course, the birthplace of the Maison, Italy, Greece, Japan, and Lebanon. The artist's installations are revealed here for the very first time. And to dream up an exhibition that would enable us to travel, we chose one of Paris's iconic venues, la Poste Du Louvre, the Louvre Post Office. And we invited Jérôme Sans to curate the show. Jérôme is the co-founder of the Palais Tokyo in Paris, a world reference in contemporary art. And he's also an exhibition curator who is internationally renowned for mixing artistic disciplines. So, bon voyage with Jérôme.
Voyages Immobiles, the Grand Tour explores extraordinary polysemy of travel in the age of international nomadism and the periods following the world's sudden descent into global immobility through its apparent reopening. Travel today is no longer necessarily about constantly moving physically across the field of reality. A Journey Around My Room, an autobiographical account of enforced confinement written in 1794 by Xavier de Maistre, who turned his predicament into an experience conducive to daydreaming and introspection. The exhibition explores different forms of mental and aesthetic roaming, both mythical and imaginary. Voyages Immobiles is a synesthetic immersion in the boundless worlds of 9 international artists, a free and open journey to the unknown, without beginning or end. From road trips to the virtual journeys of the present, from France, Italy, Greece, Japan, Lebanon, the exhibition connects 5 iconic Diptyque destinations in one new dimension, the global world. As access to tourism has widened, the way we travel has diversified enormously. The 21st century marks the advent of travel as multiple, simultaneous, and virtual, and experienced in several locations at once. Voyages Immobiles is a point of departure to the new horizons.
How do I articulate perfume, texts, textile, and paper? For me, all of those mediums actually are the same. There is no difference because all the exercise of my work actually is the idea or the projection of when I'm trying to materialize the idea of the emotion. So when I'm working with some words, actually I'm working with poems. When I'm working with the perfume, I think the fragrance is part of this idea, this abstraction of the emotion. And actually the textile and the paper are producing some emotion when you're walking through all of those materials with the breath of you or the breath actually of the wind. Paris actually is Paris is a home. I think this is one of the most important things because I'm living here. But actually I'm from somewhere else, but I'm living in Paris. And for me, Paris is not just a capital, it's not just a city. I think it's a place where we can be together, where actually we can be all different, but actually we are all the same. I'm talking about the attitude, I'm talking about the emotions, I'm talking also about the aesthetic.
Merci Joël.
Thank you, Jérôme.
À bientôt.
Goodbye.
Hallo Gregor, wie geht's?
Super geht's, danke. The film recorded on the VHS tape who's surrounding us now. It's a movie placed in Venice with Catherine Hepburn, who's on the cassette shelf box, and it's called Summertime, and it's a Venetian movie, and there was to have different movies to decide, and then I decided to using this one, but I was watching them all. Traveling for me means to changing the space. I'm leaving the space where I am and come to the next space, and then I will be there.
Danke, Gregor. Bis bald.
Danke dir.
Hello, Johan.
Quel plaisir de voir. I think that the whole mystery of Venice is that she escapes. She is strong. She is powerful. She is brass. She is la sirène effrontée. She hides. You never see her, and you don't explain her in 30 seconds. Voyager.
Voyager.
It's pushing boundaries. It's going beyond the frontier. It's going somewhere you've never been before. It's liberty, it's freedom, it's changing your mind, and it's also changing all your preconceptions. That's travel for me.
À bientôt. Merci, merci. Hello, Ange. How are you?
Fine.
Good to see you.
For me, this ceiling of globes of light is the idea of the Earth is not alone. The Earth is not only an unique object, but as a series is the idea of multiplication of this concept, and also my idea is to stop, to break the idea of unicity. For me, art is global. We need foreigner, we need travel, we need meet other people, because is the foreigner learn that I need do, teach a lot about myself. For that, I like this idea of the earth as a mirror to understand that we need do now in this ecologic time.
Hello, Shuruk.
Hello, Jérôme.
How are you guys?
Good, good. Always when I go to archaeological places, I'm moved by what today can we find what 3,000 years or 2,000 years was done or was built. And when I've been asked to do this object, I wanted to imagine what would Desmond, one of the Diptyque founder, had brought from Byblos. And because I went to his archives and I discovered all the travel books and all the universe that surround this house, and I said, he brought something from Byblos, and I'm going to make it. And it was put in this box, pieces that he brought from there, from the staircase of a temple, a piece of the tiara of King of Byblos, because I said he had a tiara, and of course it was in cedar, and of course it was in gold, and we found a little piece of it, and the fossil of a coquelicot that is mythologically is a flower that exists in Byblos. So all these pieces are put as treasures or trophies that are put in this box and completely closed and hidden from any curious people that are not related to it. And we discovered it today or in 50 years, and it's Desmond box, not mine.
In this installation, the drawing and all the resulting forms occupy a preponderant place. I think of all my work in drawing, regardless of the medium. And sometimes I tell myself that my life even sinks in drawing. Or more precisely, I love this situation of the mind that projects itself into shapes and lines and stories too. For me, it's like a poem or like a melody. I am always looking for new landscapes and always seek to create a new environment for my drawing and its variations. I work a lot from archive, photo, and prints too. Then I reinterpret them. The figure of birds has been with me since I was a child. my mom has always had birds, and I grew up with them. And for me, they are the symbols of freedom, but also of travel, crossing, navigation. I will find it wonderful to hang pencils on their wings. Birds fly in the sky freely. They occupy this territory in perpetual movement and without borders. Here, in this space, there are the archaeological sites of Byblos, which I have imagined. We are in the history of the Mediterranean, which is also my history. And I wanted my space as a temporary camp, a free area, an oasis of serenity, because it's true, in fact, who owns the sky?
Merci. Hello, Zoe. How are you?
Good, thank you. These bodies, I suppose they come from a lump of clay, which I start off as a lump, and then they start drawing out, and then the blob starts becoming anthropomorphological, and that's how the bodies start being created. In terms of ancient history, I think that we're so connected, there is no future or past. It's a kind of continuous that we continue to remake the same mistakes. So we're constantly in this moment of building up and collapse and falling in and collapsing and turning into something else and building and decay. Yeah. I spent my whole life being between two countries and coming from neither of them. So travel is also a sort of rootlessness, I think. Trying to, I suppose, experiencing new things or connecting with people in different ways. I think that's what travel is, or finding similarities within people and connection.
Thank you very much, Zoe.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Hello, Andreas. How are you?
Hey, Jerome. How are you? I'm good. I guess I was really thinking of the time we spent during the pandemic, like locked up and not able to travel. And I had already received your invitation. So I kind of thought of travel as not really going somewhere, but creating that place around you. And my subject was Athens, as it has kind of always been in my work, both the ancient and the contemporary. And post-ruin kind of signifies a type of ruin that doesn't speak about the past, but rather offers opportunity to the present. So traveling has a lot to do with the present, because you go somewhere to be more present.
Thank you, Andreas.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
In contrast to the density of the previous rooms, Japan appears in a typically streamlined and minimalist form. The eyes is immediately met with an abstract and contemplative image by the Japanese photographer and artist Hiroshi Sugimoto. Taken from the Optic series, it is a transcription of one of the colors revealed when light passes through an optical glass prism. The title of this series refers to the treatise by Newton Optics. Captured on Polaroid films, the colors reflect Sugimoto's interest in the most subtle hues on the rainbow, but also and above all the colors that embody a transition. The fragrance of Infinity Edition is put into perspective by a film on Kankitsuzan, in Japanese, Mountain of Citrus Fruits, an area overlooking the sea not far from Tokyo, which gave its name to the agricultural foundation created in 2011 by the artist. Next to the Edora Observatory, to conserve and pass on Japanese culture, art, and heritage. The landscapes of these mountains are spaces for contemplation and the primary sources of inspiration for Hiroshi Sugimoto.